everyone, Michael here with Hello Cupcake It's Me, and today is October 2nd, 2021, and this is the Saturday check-in. So, last night I did a quick YouTube short about me just being really pissed off and angry. And so let me give you some more context because I really didn't have a lot of time. I was sitting in the passenger side of my friend's car and waiting for her to come out, and we were going to dinner and a movie. So, you all know I have a really rocky relationship with my biological mother. I refer to her as my biological mother, or my egg donor, or my first apartment, shit like that, right? So, September 30th was supposed to be her last day at her apartment that she was in. She got what I guess is called a soft eviction, where you still go before the courts or whatever, and then they told her, well, if you leave peacefully or whatever, we're not going to put this on your record, blah blah blah. Okay, cool, fine, whatever. So, her being the 70-year-old crackhead that she is, didn't really take that to heart. Now, she's known about this pending eviction or whatever since like June. And in the middle of July, last part of August, or somewhere between July and August, she had this court date and knew that she had to be out by September 30th. So I kept asking her, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? How are you going to fix this? Like, do you have a plan B? What is your plan C, D, E, F, all the way down through the damn alphabet until you start doing double letters or whatever. So, at one point, she was going to go live with a friend of hers. And then a few days later, when I talked to her, fuck that friend. A couple of days later, well, me and that friend started talking again, blah, blah. I'm like, well, if you're going to stay with this person, you've got to be on your best behavior because they're doing you a favor, not the other way around. Or again, oh, so this dude is a real asshole, and talking about her friend's boyfriend, he's a real asshole. I'm like, well, he has every right to be. It's his house. And so if you stay with them, prepare to be around an asshole. Like, just deal with it. It's better than being 70 homeless in the Pacific Northwest winters. So I've been dealing with this shit since at least the middle of July, knowing that she had all this stuff going on. And 99.3% of the time, I have a fuck it attitude when it comes to her. And I decided that I was going to try to help her. And so one day while I was driving to go see my sister at work, we were going to go do something. I forget what it was. But I think it was the day that we went to that Constitutional Church. But yeah. So, while I was driving, I called this helpline system 211 for the state of Oregon, and they gave me all kinds of information and paperwork and whatever else, and I had it sent to her next door neighbor that had a printer to take over to her. I called her up a couple of days later. I'm like, hey, so your next door neighbor brought you over that paperwork. Have you called any of the numbers on there? Well, no. I called some of them, but all I got was their voicemail. I'm like, okay. So you got their voicemail. Did you leave a message? Did you tell them what you needed help with? Did you do any of those things? Well, yeah, I think so. What do you mean you think so? Either you did or you didn't. So, anyways, a few days ago, which was like Tuesday or Wednesday of this week, I decided that I was going to give it one last shot. So, I put it into the universe what I needed and made some phone calls. I started getting really discouraged Wednesday when I made those phone calls. Thursday, I got a phone call back, and this person happened to have been uh, the site manager of one apartment complex that just got bought by another like management group, and like Wednesday was her last day, Thursday was her new day at this other job, and I had left a voicemail on there. So she called me up and she's like, "Hey Michael, I used to manage this apartment complex, and I know that they have a wait list, or that they have several openings. So, call so and so over there, tell them about the openings, and see if you can get her in on those openings." I'm like, "Awesome, thank you so much. You have no idea how amazing this is." Call that place up, talk to the guy, and told him the whole spiel. He told me that his company is in the process of absorbing the company and switching everything over to their computer systems and blah blah blah, whatever. And so with all that said and done, he said, "Let me take your name, your number, and your email address, and I'm gonna put it out to my other properties, and someone will get back to you if there is an opening." So I was like, "Fucking thank God." Okay, thank you, thank you, thank you. um, then I she calls me and is like, "Hey, I got your text messages, but why do you need all of these numbers and all this information?" Because I called and I asked her for her social security number. I called and asked her for her HUD Section 8 representative and her doctor's name and number and all this other stuff. I'm like, "Well, I'm trying to get you into a place." She's like, "What?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm trying to get you into a place. Some of the applications that I need to fill out are um, they're asking this information, and so I'm just trying to help you." And she's like, "Oh, okay, thank you." And I'm like, in the you know in the future, if I ask you for any of this information, don't give me attitude about it, because she was really kind of bitchy and snappy about it. I'm like, if I'm asking you for this kind of information, it's because I need this information, and it's usually to help you. So, anyways, and I told her, I'm like, "So I've been looking at studio and one bedroom apartments because that's the only thing that seems to be available." She's like, "Well, I don't want a studio." Well, you may only be getting a studio. There's no guaranteeing that you're getting a one bedroom apartment. I don't want a studio. A studio's too small. It's only the size of my kitchen and living room now. I'm like, "Yes, I understand. But just because you move into a studio does not mean you have to spend the rest of your life in that studio. So, I am looking at one bedroom or studio apartments for you to live in because I think it's better than living out in the field." "Well, I don't want a studio. I'm actually, my HUD voucher is actually for a two bedroom." Load, give me strength, load. I'm like, that is when you had 2 people. Your boyfriend is dead. You remember this, yes? Of course I remember that he died. Okay, so there is only one of you. You do not need a 2-bedroom. You need shelter over you, correct? Yes, I need a place to live. Okay, so does it really matter if it's a 1-bedroom or a studio as long as it has 4 walls, a roof, lights, water, and gas, and keeps you warm and safe so you are not sleeping out in the field again? Because she slept out in a field for 2 nights already. Well, yeah, I guess so. But I don't want a studio. I'm like, so you want me to just fucking not do shit for you? That's what I'm hearing. Well, no, a studio could be okay, I guess. I'm like, you guess? I said, tell me now if I'm wasting my time or if I'm wasting these other people's time, because I'm not going to bust my ass trying to get you into something that you are not going to be appreciative of or take care of. So you need to let me know right the fuck now what I'm doing. Well, I'm just under a lot of stress. I don't fucking care about your stress. Your stress does not give me a yes or no answer. You put yourself in this situation. I am trying to fix your situation. So, what do you want me to do? Do you want me to continue to try to help? Or do you want to just be you and fuck off with everything else? Well, thank you for trying to help me. Okay, I'm going to continue to try to do so. So, you may only be getting a studio apartment, which then means you will live in said studio apartment, and you're going to have to abide by said studio apartment rules. If you get into said studio apartment and you get kicked out, then there is no more help for you. And she said, well, I only have like $200 to my name right now. I said, you better have a hell of a lot more than $200. Like, you just got paid on the 1st. So, what the actual fuck? And you get your check usually 2 days prior because of your bank account thing. Well, I had to eat and I had to pay people to help me and do this and that and the other thing and blah, blah, blah. So I only got about $200 left and I still need to rent a truck and try to get a storage unit. I said, you're not going to do it for $200. I'm sorry. You're not going to be able to do that for $200. And the fact that you went through as much money as you just did, no, absolutely not. That is unacceptable. You should have put that money toward trying to get yourself a motel room for a couple of days or something. Like, no. If this is the level of irresponsibility you're going to take, then I'm not going to continue to help you. Well, I needed help. No one else was going to fucking help me, and they all wanted me to pay them and stuff. And I said, well, for the amount of money that you put out, I could have gotten you a U-Haul truck and a storage space and probably a month's worth of like one of those rent by the month hotel rooms. But yeah, because you decided that you needed to go party and fuck off your money, now you have $200 to try to live as a homeless person for the next month until November comes around. I said, at the very least, are you going to go to one of the shelters in your area? No. Why? So this is the shit that I'm dealing with, and I'm so upset and so pissed off and angry about that. It's just like, Urgh! So yeah, that's what I'm dealing with right now. And last night was an amazing reprieve. Me and my friend Pam, we got together and we went for dinner, and we went and saw the new Venom movie, which, being a comic book nerd and knowing the Venom character from the comic book and the cartoons and the movies and stuff before the Tom Hardy Venom, I was just like, but I like that they made this Venom a little bit more comedic and personable and um like funny, like kind of that anti-hero type of a situation, where he was never like that in the comic books. um Let There Be Carnage, though, was humorous in parts, and um Woody Harrelson made a really amazing Carnage. He really did. um I really can't think of another actor that would have played him or played Carnage as well as him. Um, but a lot of good action, a lot of good moments. So yeah, you guys, I'm not gonna give you a lot of spoilers or whatever, but you really need to go see it. It's amazing. Um, and then Pam and I, before going to the movies, we hit up a $10 Chinese restaurant, and oh my gosh, it was so yummy. Like, I got orange chicken, fried rice, and egg drop soup for $9.95. And like, where can you go to a sit down restaurant in today's day and age and get food for $10? Um, so we went and did that. Then we went to the Dollar Tree and picked some snacks, and then we went to watch the movie. Then afterwards, she looked at me. She goes, "I'm just kind of hungry." I'm like, "Yeah, I am too." So we went by Jack in the Box, and I got a couple of tacos, and I forget what she got. She got some kind of like breakfast sandwich. So that was pretty much all day yesterday, and so it's been an up and down kind of a thing. Just the last few days, I have been emotionally, physically, mentally, spiritually exhausted. And I'm trying not to let this shit with her, um, my biological mom, trying not to let shit with her affect me, because I know she is a drug user. I know she's elderly, and I know that she is just this stubborn, dig her heel in, fight you tooth and nail over the fact that you said that rice was white, and she would argue with you that the rice is not white, that it's eggshell, or something like that. And for somebody who has depression and bipolar and stuff like mental health issues that I have, it's really draining on me, and it would be draining on anyone, honestly, really. And I knew going into it not to put too much of myself into this, but there was that part of me that was just like, you can do this. Like, you do this kind of shit for people all the time. You could make this work. And so that little bit of optimism that I hold in like a little tiny, tiny pouch right about here. And so I'm hoping that something will work out for her, be it through my intervention, her own doing, or whatever else. I just hope something happens for her. But right now, I don't have it in me to try anymore. I really don't. So, yeah. And there's a bunch of other stuff that I wanted to talk about, but I see that we're going on 20 minutes already, and you're probably bored at this point, and I'm sorry. So I'm not going to continue rambling on. So what I am going to do is I'm going to go ahead and leave you guys for now. Thank you for watching this far in advance. If you haven't done so, please hit like and subscribe. Comments in the comment section down below, and follow me on all the different social medias down below. You need to talk to me, shoot me an email, hellocupcakeitsme@gmail.com. Go give the blog some love, hellocupcakeitsme.com. And until next time, I will talk to y'all later. Bye, guys.